Also, if I had questions about hunting, would that be through the Oregon Agriculture, or would that be the Fish and Wildlife?
No, that's
Or
Fish and Wildlife. Yeah.
okay, I wasn't sure because I know that there's something where farmers can hire hunters to maybe hunt deer that are going on to onto cropland. So I wasn't sure if, since it's involving cropland, if that would be agriculture, or since it's involving deer, if it would be wildlife.
Yeah, it's the Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you for calling the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. All calls may be monitored for quality assurance. For questions about fishing or hunting licenses, controlled hunt applications, and other license issues, press 3. For hunter education. Thank you for calling the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife License and Controlled Hunt Services. Please make your selection from the following choices. Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, this is Troy. How may I help you?
Hi there. So I'm working on a project, and I'm just gathering some information on regulations. And I was sent by the Department of Agriculture to your guys' department. And one of the things that I am trying to find some answers to is I'm under the impression that if farmers have crops that, like, deer might come onto the land to eat the crops, that the farmers can hire hunters to hunt the deer. And I've recently found out that maybe the farmers have to get deer hunting tags the same way like a regular hunter would have to for this cropland hunting. Am I in the right department to ask about this?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some issues with that. First of all, for deer, we don't really do deer damage, very much of that.
What
Some
does
of
that
the
mean by
individual
deer
biology.
damage?
So exactly what you're talking about would be a landowner is having a damage with deer or elk on their property.
Oh, okay.
And so the deer side of it, there probably could be some of that done. The biologists do that from the field office standpoint. But primarily we have elk damage is what we're looking at more than not.
That's just what your department happens to handle, or that's what's currently an issue in Oregon?
Well, I'm just saying how the laws are set up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There
So
is some in there, but the biggest elk, or the biggest damage tag issue that landowners have is dealt with more on the elk side than on the deer side.
okay, so if somebody had crops, like, I don't know what elk like to eat, but something like corn or something like that, and they had some issues with elk or deer or something like that coming onto the crops, and they were going to have somebody take care of that, would they contact you guys and get a tag?
They would go through the field office, and the biologists would issue them damage tags after the biologists go out and inspect the damage to verify that it meets their criteria. And I don't have that criteria because I don't really deal with that. That's at the biologist level at the field offices.
Okay. Do you happen to know, is it like a different price? Is it almost as if they're paying to go hunting, but they're just paying to hunt to protect the damages from happening?
Well, yeah, I mean, they would still purchase a tag, and that's just going to still be the same price for the tag, for elk tag, for example.
Okay, so it would be the same price. Okay, that was one of the main things I was wondering. And then I'm guessing, since they're hunting and they're killing an elk, it would be just like regular hunting, where even though the reasoning is to protect the crops, they could still keep it and eat it and that kind of thing.
Correct.
Okay. And then if they had an issue with it where they noticed there was more than one elk, they would just have to purchase however many tags for how many they were going to hunt.
Yeah, and the bios, I mean, it's not like they might get, it depends on how many there are, but they might get two tags is all they might get. So,
Okay. Is there a way I could be sent to talk to the, did you say biologist? Whoever would know what, like, the damage would have to look like?
um, I guess
where is the area of the property would be that you're thinking of?
Oh, well, I'm actually just gathering information, just working on a project, kind of out of curiosity of this topic. It's not for actually purchasing a tag or anything like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, any of our field offices would have district biologists, so just look here.
Yeah, because mostly I was just curious, like, I don't know if the regulations are different, where if somebody just wanted to go hunt an elk in the woods, they would get a tag. But if they were paying the same to do it for crop related reasons, I was just curious why there would need to be like a certain amount of damage. If it's just based on the number of elk one person could get a tag for, where
No, it's just trying to alleviate damage, specific type of damage in that particular area. And they're only going to be good on that landowner's property. This isn't like an elk tag where they can just go shoot an elk. It's only when these are issued for damage tags, they're issued just on that property.
oh, I see. Okay, interesting. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
But I mean, I can give you like, I'm just trying to think around here.
Yeah.
The Corvallis office would be 541-757-4186.
757-4186.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I mean, that's going to be the Corvallis district field office. I mean, they're going to have biologists there that you could ask for that would have better answers to some of those kind of questions.
Okay. And then do you happen to know, I guess maybe they would have the numbers for this, but do you happen to know if there are stats recorded for how often this happens in Oregon? Like how often a tag is purchased for crop reasons?
I don't have stats on that. It would probably be, I don't know if how they coordinate that with wildlife and division or not. I mean, they would be able to tell you that.
Okay.
Thank you for calling the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, Corvallis District Office. Fish and Wildlife, this is Kathy.
Hi there. I was just talking to somebody at maybe the main office of the Fish and Wildlife, and they gave me your guys' number, and it was about a question about getting tags for hunting deer and elk that are causing damages on crops.
Okay, so let me pass you back to our biologist, Greg, who can talk with you about that. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, this is Greg Reed with Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
Hi, Greg. My name's Carson. I was just calling to ask a couple questions about about farmers getting tags for hunting deer and elk and stuff like that that are causing damages to their crops. So yeah, I just had a few questions about that topic. So if you can give me a call back, that'd be great. All right. So when I was driving, I got a call back from one of the people I had called to find out about the hunting permits for crops, which is part of crop deaths. And so I was driving and I got the call, and therefore that call is not recorded. So I am sharing the information that I learned from that call. So basically, if somebody has a problem with deer eating their crops, the first thing they get is what's called a hazing tag, which means, and I think in this case, there has to be, the property damage still has to be assessed, the crop damage. And so with the hazing tag, basically deer and elk and other animals like that are protected species, and so you can't throw things at them or shoot to make loud noises in their direction or drive tractors and stuff towards them. Anything that's thought of as kind of aggressive. But if you get a hazing permit, then you can do these things carefully. So they'd prefer that you don't just kill these random animals, that you would drive a tractor towards them or like make loud noises, shoot things in their direction. This is what's referred to as a hazing permit or a hazing tag, something like that. Okay. And then if that doesn't work, if they still are eating the crops, then you can get tags just like you would if you were hunting. So with deer, depending on the type of deer, it seems like it's something like you can get 2 tags. You can get one for male, one for female. And with elk, I think you can only get 1 tag in total. And so it's probably different for different places, but this is at least the general idea of how it works in Oregon. And somebody can shoot whatever animal they have the tag for, and it would work just like that. So you wouldn't be able to do more than what you have the tag for, and you'd treat it just like hunting, where you could either eat the animal you shoot, or you can give it to somebody, or you can hire somebody to shoot it, and then when they shoot it, they will take it, or whatever they happen to do with it. But it would be illegal to kill more if you only got that tag. Now, the last thing that happens is if the damage is extreme and you can't stop it from happening, in rare cases, they give out something called a kill tag or a kill permit. I think permit might be the word used for hazing and for the kill one. So kill permit, basically it would be a permit that allows you to kill more, but because you're not treating it like hunting, where you're paying for being able to hunt a protected species that therefore you can eat, you have to donate the animal. So in the same sense that people can donate food from harvest from like a community garden, or you can donate cans of food to food share type places. In this case, somebody would be hired to come and hunt a deer that is eating crops, and then that deer would be donated to a place where people eat it. So it's anyways, yeah, it's kind of interesting. So from what I gather, at this point, I don't view this as a huge issue, especially compared to animal agriculture. So when people bring up crop deaths to point out that vegans aren't consistent, there's a spectrum of which crop deaths matter in my mind, and in the same sense that I think it's better to go out hunting than it is to have a regenerative farm, and it's better to have a regenerative farm than a factory farm. If you're going to protect your crops from anything, I would say the absolute best approach would be something like hunting. So in any of the cases where farmers either do it themselves or hire people to kill these animals that are eating the crops, I would say that is far better than almost all animal agriculture. I do think it would be best if there were laws in place that would keep at least these types of animals away. Maybe every farm should have to have a fence a certain distance from their crops that would essentially just make it so a deer or an elk or something like that couldn't come in. So if an elk or deer came in, it's because you did something wrong or you left a gate open or something like that. And that way we can just keep deer and elk and that kind of thing out into the wild. We should have ways to keep, in my mind, unless there's not ways to do this, we should have ways to keep them off of farmland and out of streets and stuff like that. So anyways, I'm going to keep covering these topics. I'm going to keep calling and finding out if there's better ways to get stats on how often this kind of stuff is done. But I really want to break down these ideas. I think when it comes to crop deaths, not only should we not ignore it because it is an issue, but we should have the answers to give people. If we're out talking to people on the street about veganism and somebody brings up crop deaths and we don't have an answer, first of all, it looks bad if we want people to listen to us and we won't listen to them. So if we just push it away, that's bad. If we don't have the answer, then when they tell us stuff, we might we might just look bad not having the answer. So part of why I want to do this is to get a good answer, to have a good idea of which things are legal, and also which things are more moral. Everything's on a spectrum, and so we have all the things that we could view as good or bad, and the worst things that can happen, we want to stop those things. And so when it comes to crop deaths, I would say something like rodenticides is worse than this hunting idea. And there's also issues when it comes to pesticides and various different things. So anyways, at very least, it would be good to have the answers, to have a good idea of how it all plays out. But then also, it's good to figure out on our own how we feel about them, so we can decide I care more about mammals than I do about insects and all these various different things. So that's why I'm doing this. And if anybody has any ideas of questions that I should ask next time I call in, leave them in the comments. And then also, I am putting together a website where I'm going to have a section that focuses on crop deaths, explaining how it all works and breaking down different ideas and ways that we can work towards having a more vegan future when it comes to crop deaths. And there will be other sections in the website about various different things, like different ways we can try to affect our laws when it comes to animal farming and that kind of thing. But anyways, I'm going to end that here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.